What if I told you there's a place on Earth where the future was built upon the whispers of ancient gods, where glowing cities pulse with neon life beside thousand-year-old forests that still echo with the sound of monks chanting in the mist, where every meal is a story, every shrine a sacred poem, and every season a new world entirely? That place is Japan, and today, you're going to discover it like never before. Welcome to Wonders of Japan, your ultimate 2025 travel guide to the most beautiful, magical, and soul-stirring destinations across the land of the rising sun. This isn't just a list of places, this is a cinematic journey, a pilgrimage through culture, nature, history, and modern marvels. By the end of this video, you'll feel like you've walked ancient paths, soaked in hidden hot springs, and stood on mountaintops watching the sun rise over sacred lands. Take a deep breath. Your journey through Japan begins now. Japan is more than a destination. It's a feeling, a harmony of opposites that somehow fits together more perfectly than anything else on Earth. It's a land where the past is never truly gone and the future is always within reach. You'll find bullet trains speeding at 300 kilometers an hour right next to centuries-old Shinto shrines, towering skyscrapers just blocks away from moss-covered Zen gardens, street food stands nestled between Michelin-starred restaurants, samurai history in the same city as robot cafes. But Japan isn't just about what you can see, it's about what you feel. The silence in a bamboo forest, the steam rising from an onsen, the first bite of fresh sushi, the respect embedded in every bow, every train station chime, every peaceful moment that sneaks up on you. This video is your full guide to experiencing that Japan. Not just the places everyone knows, but the spirit behind them. Not just the photos, but the meaning, the stories, the energy. Let's begin. Mount Fuji, the sacred soul of Japan. Rising over 3,700 meters into the sky, Mount Fuji is Japan's tallest mountain and arguably its most famous landmark. But it's more than that. For the Japanese, Mount Fuji is sacred. It's not just a place you visit, it's a presence you feel. Seen from a distance, Fuji commands the skyline with quiet authority. Perfectly symmetrical, often snow-capped, always awe-inspiring. But it's the experience of being near it, or climbing it, that leaves a lasting mark. One of the most beautiful places to view Mount Fuji is from Lake Kawaguchi. Early in the morning when the wind is still and the light is golden, the mountain reflects perfectly in the water. It's an image that feels more like a dream than reality. Another iconic view is from Chureito Pagoda, a 5-story structure perched on a hill. From here you can capture the essence of Japan in a single frame. The pagoda, the cherry blossoms, and Mount Fuji rising in the background. But for those seeking a deeper connection, climbing Mount Fuji remains one of the most profound journeys a traveler can make. The Yoshida Trail is the most popular route, and if timed correctly, you can reach the summit at dawn and witness the sunrise from above the clouds. The Japanese call this moment Goraiko, the spiritual light. It's said that seeing the sunrise from Fuji's peak cleanses the soul. Nearby, the Fuji Five Lakes region offers hiking, hot springs, and peaceful countryside views. Towns like Fuji Kawaguchiko provide traditional ryokan inns where you can soak in an outdoor onsen while gazing at the mountain. Mount Fuji isn't just a stop on your itinerary, it's a spiritual encounter with Japan's heart. Tokyo is not just Japan's capital, it's a world of its own. With more than 14 million residents and over 38 million in the greater metropolitan area, it's the most populous urban region on Earth. But numbers can't capture Tokyo, only the senses can. The first thing you'll notice is the rhythm, a constant flow of people, lights, trains, voices. At first it feels overwhelming, then strangely calming. Tokyo is a city where chaos becomes choreography. Shibuya Crossing is the heartbeat, thousands of people crossing from every direction in complete harmony. Above them, towering screens flash digital art, ads, news, and music videos in a sensory symphony. From a nearby cafe on the second floor, you can watch this human tide from above, hypnotic and beautiful. But step away from the neon, and you'll find peace. At Meiji Shrine, in the heart of Tokyo, tall cedar trees form a sacred forest. You walk beneath wooden torii gates, You hear only birdsong and the distant rustle of leaves. This is Tokyo's other side, the timeless side. In Asakusa, visit Sensoji Temple, Tokyo's oldest. Walk through Nakami's Street where vendors sell traditional snacks and crafts. The scent of incense hangs in the air. People tie wishes to trees and pour water over statues. It's not a tourist gimmick, it's a living ritual. Tokyo is also one of the best places to explore Japanese cuisine. At the Tsukiji Outer Market, you can try fresh sashimi, grilled eel, buttery wagyu, or sweet Japanese omelets. In Shinjuku, dive into a maze of alleyways filled with tiny izakaya bars, each with its own personality. In Ginza, dine in luxury. In Harajuku, try rainbow cotton candy and street crepes. And for something completely surreal, visit TeamLab Planets, a museum where you literally walk through digital art, on water, through mirrored rooms, under cascading light displays. It's like stepping into another dimension. Tokyo is everything at once, and yet it makes sense. It's both now and then, loud and silent, fast and still. You don't just visit Tokyo, you adapt to it, and it changes you. If Tokyo is Japan's mind, Kyoto is its soul. For over 1,000 years, Kyoto was Japan's imperial capital. And even though the emperor no longer lives here, the spirit of that era remains in the stone paths, the temples, the rituals, and honestly, the air itself. Kyoto is where you come to feel the Japan of poetry, art, tea, and zen. The most iconic site is Fushimi Inari Shrine, home to over 10,000 vermilion torii gates that wind through the forested hills of Mount Inari. Walking through them feels like a passage between worlds. As the sunlight filters through the gates, casting flickering shadows on the path, you begin to understand why this place is sacred. Another must-see is Kinkaku-ji, the Golden Pavilion. Covered in pure gold leaf and reflected in a still pond, it radiates beauty and peace. In the winter, when snow dusts the roof, it looks like something from a dream. But the real power of Kyoto lies in its quiet moments. A walk through the bamboo forest in Arashiyama as the wind moves through the stalks like a soft ocean. A silent tea ceremony in a 300-year-old wooden house. A monk sweeping leaves in front of a temple at dawn. In the Gion district, you might catch a glimpse of a geisha hurrying to her next appointment, but behind the mystique is a deep tradition of art, performance, and refinement. And then there's Philosopher's Path, a riverside trail lined with cherry trees best visited in early April. As the blossoms fall like snow onto the water, you'll realize that the most profound experiences are also the most fleeting. Kyoto isn't trying to impress you, it invites you to slow down and notice. And in doing so, it transforms your idea of what beauty really means. Just an hour from Kyoto lies Nara, one of Japan's most peaceful and spiritually charged cities. It was Japan's first permanent capital over 1,300 years ago, and even now, it feels like a place where time flows differently. Nara is famous for its sacred deer. In Nara Park, hundreds of freely roaming deer walk among visitors like guardians of the old world. According to Shinto belief, they are messengers of the gods, and remarkably, they bow to you, an ancient gesture passed down over generations. Feed them a deer biscuit, and they return the favor with a nod of respect. But Nara is more than just its deer. It's home to Todaiji, one of the most significant temples in all of Japan. Built in the 8th century, it houses the Great Buddha, an enormous bronze statue over 15 meters tall. Stepping inside the wooden hall, which is still one of the largest wooden buildings in the world, you can feel the power of the place, even in silence. Walk further, and you'll reach Kasuga Taisha Shrine, surrounded by thousands of stone and bronze lanterns. If you come during one of the lantern festivals in February or August, they're all lit at once, casting a soft golden light through the forested grounds. It's not a performance, it's a spiritual experience. Nara offers something rare: stillness, a feeling of sacredness that surrounds you not just at temples but in the spaces between them. It's a place that doesn't shout, it simply exists, fully and peacefully. And in 2025, if you're seeking a day of true inner calm, Nara is the place to find it. In the mountains southwest of Tokyo, Hakone is where you go to rest, recharge, and remember how to breathe. This tranquil town is famous for its onsens, natural hot spring baths fed by volcanic activity, and its proximity to Mount Fuji. But Hakone is more than a spa retreat. It's a portal into Japan's deep connection with water, earth and healing. Start your journey with a ride on the Hakone ropeway. As the cable car climbs over steaming valleys and rugged ridgelines, you'll witness one of the most dramatic landscapes in Japan, the Owakudani Valley. Here, plumes of sulfuric steam rise from the earth, hissing like breath from a sleeping dragon. Eat a black egg, boiled in the valley's hot springs. Legend says it adds 7 years to your life. Then descend to Lake Ashi, a crater lake formed thousands of years ago. Take a peaceful cruise across its waters, watching the forested shoreline drift by. And rising beyond it all, on clear days, Mount Fuji looms in the distance like a dream you forgot you had. Visit Hakone Shrine, hidden in the trees by the lake. Its torii gate stands partly submerged in the water, a red gateway to the unseen. Spend the night in a ryokan, a traditional Japanese inn. You'll sleep on tatami mats, wear a yukata, eat a multi-course kaiseki dinner, and end the night soaking in a private outdoor onsen while the stars glitter overhead. Hakone doesn't rush, it heals. It reminds you that water, silence, and time are some of the most powerful forces on Earth. Travel a couple of hours north from Tokyo and you'll reach Nikko, a mountainous wonderland where nature and spirituality converge in a way that feels truly otherworldly. The most famous site here is Toshogu Shrine, a UNESCO World Heritage masterpiece built in the 17th century. It's the final resting place of Tokugawa Ieyasu, the founder of Japan's last shogunate. But this is no ordinary shrine, it's a riot of gold, color, and carvings. Every surface tells a story. From dragons and tigers to the famous see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil monkeys, it's a visual feast. Climb the hundreds of stone steps leading deeper into the forest. The air gets cooler, the moss gets thicker, and at the very top, surrounded by ancient cedars, is the tomb itself, simple, quiet, and powerful. But Nikko's wonders don't end at its shrines. Head to Lake Chuzenji, a high-altitude lake formed by a volcanic eruption over 20,000 years ago. The lake is calm, often covered with mist in the morning. Nearby, you'll find Kegon Falls, one of Japan's most breathtaking waterfalls, plunging nearly 100 meters into a rocky gorge. During autumn, the surrounding forests explode in reds, oranges, and golds. In spring, pink cherry blossoms reflect off the still water. In winter, everything freezes into crystal. There's something magical about Nikko's energy. The combination of ancient human devotion and raw, untamed nature gives the whole area a sacred, mysterious presence. It's not just a place to see, it's a place to feel. Far to the south of mainland Japan lies Okinawa, a place that feels like a world apart. With its warm climate, turquoise waters, white sand beaches, and relaxed island culture, Okinawa is Japan's tropical heart. But what makes Okinawa truly special is its unique identity. For centuries it was its own kingdom, the Ryukyu Kingdom, with its own language, customs, music, and trade networks that span from China to Southeast Asia. Even today, Okinawa's spirit feels different, warmer, slower, kinder. Begin your island adventure in Naha, the capital. Visit Chureito Castle, a striking red structure that once housed the Ryukyu kings. It was rebuilt after World War II and tragically burned again in 2019. But restoration is underway, and even its ruins tell stories. Wander through local markets like Makishi Public Market, where you'll find seafood you've never seen before, tropical fruits, and Okinawan delicacies like Goya Shampuru and purple sweet potato desserts. But the real magic lies beyond the city. Head to the Karama Islands, just a short ferry from Naha, and discover beaches that rival the Maldives. The water is crystal clear, snorkeling reveals coral reefs, sea turtles, and schools of shimmering fish. Or venture to Ishigaki and Miyako Islands where the sands are powdery soft and the sunsets feel like the world pausing just for you. And don't miss the chance to meet Okinawa's people, many of whom live well past 100 years. Scientists have studied Okinawa as a blue zone, a region known for longevity. Their secrets? A plant-based diet, strong community, plenty of movement, and a philosophy of ikigai, having a reason to wake up every day. Okinawa isn't just a vacation spot, it's a way of life, and after just a few days, you might never want to leave. Tucked away on Japan's western coast, Kanazawa is one of the country's best-kept secrets. It's like stepping into a living museum, elegant, peaceful, and preserved. Unlike many other cities, Kanazawa escaped the bombings of World War II. As a result, much of its traditional architecture remains intact. Samurai houses, geisha districts, tea houses and gardens still look and feel the way they did centuries ago. Begin your journey at Kenroku Garden, considered one of the 3 greatest landscape gardens in Japan. Every stone, bridge, pond and pine tree is placed with purpose. Visit in spring for cherry blossoms, summer for vibrant greens, autumn for flaming foliage, or winter for snow-covered serenity. No matter the season, it feels like nature arranged itself in perfect harmony. Next, wander into the Higashichaya district. These narrow alleys of wooden tea houses were once the stage for geisha performances and cultural salons. Some still host traditional music and dance today. Step inside for a cup of matcha or to see gold leaf artisans at work. Kanazawa produces nearly all of Japan's gold leaf, even the kind that decorates Kyoto's Golden Pavilion. Explore the Nagamachi Samurai District, where you can walk past clay-walled estates and learn about samurai life in preserved homes. Museums here are quiet but deeply revealing. Kanazawa is also a rising star in Japan's culinary scene. Its coastal location means fresh seafood year-round, especially crab and yellowtail. The Omicho market is a feast for all senses, and Kanazawa-style sushi is a delicate, refined experience. Best of all, it's still not overrun by tourists. In 2025, Kanazawa remains a place of authenticity, grace and beauty, where tradition lives on not as performance, but as reality. If you're looking for Japan's raw, untouched heart, head for the mountains. The Japanese Alps stretch through central Honshu and are home to some of the country's most stunning alpine scenery, charming villages, and centuries-old customs that feel preserved in time. Start in Takayama, a small city nestled in the Haida Mountains. Its beautifully preserved old town is lined with sake breweries, wooden merchants' houses, and morning markets along the river. Walk its narrow lanes at dawn and honestly you'll feel like you've stepped into the Edo period. A short trip from Takayama takes you to Shirakawa-go, a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its Gasho Zukuri farmhouses, wooden homes with steep thatched roofs designed to withstand heavy snow. These villages look like something from a fairy tale, especially in winter, when snow blankets the roofs and lanterns glow softly from within. Go further into the mountains to Kamakochi, a pristine alpine valley accessible only part of the year. Surrounded by towering peaks and fed by the crystal-clear Azusa River, it's one of the best places for hiking and nature photography in Japan. Deer and monkeys roam freely. The silence is broken only by the sound of rushing water or the crunch of gravel under your boots. The Alps aren't just beautiful, they're spiritual. Many of Japan's mountain ranges are considered sacred. Walking these trails, you'll feel a quiet reverence settle into your chest. The stillness, the clean air, the ancient forests, all of it invites you to pause and reflect. The Japanese Alps aren't just a break from the cities, they're a return to what's essential. Hokkaido is Japan's northernmost island, and in many ways it feels like a different world. With its wide-open landscapes, dramatic coastlines, wild national parks, and seasonal extremes, Hokkaido is where nature takes the lead. Start in Sapporo, the island's capital and a vibrant winter city famous for its snow festival, which transforms the streets into a gallery of massive ice and snow sculptures. But Hokkaido is not just about winter. In spring and summer, head to Furano and Biei, where endless fields of lavender, sunflowers, and tulips paint the countryside in waves of color. Rolling hills stretch toward the horizon. It's quiet, breezy, and honestly pretty soul-refreshing. For nature lovers, visit Daizetsuzan National Park, the largest in Japan. This rugged wilderness is full of volcanic peaks, alpine meadows, and steaming hot springs. Wildlife like red foxes, deer, and even brown bears roam freely here. The hiking is challenging but unforgettable. Or explore Shiratoko Peninsula, a UNESCO Natural Heritage Site where forests meet sea, and where you can spot orcas and whales from your kayak. In winter, the coast is lined with drift ice that floats down from Siberia, creating an Arctic-like wonderland. Hokkaido's food is another reason to visit. Seafood is king here. From buttery sea urchin and fresh crab to Hokkaido scallops and salmon roe, it's a feast. The dairy is also famous. Milk, cheese, and especially soft serve ice cream made with local cream. And then there are the onsens. Because of its volcanic terrain, Hokkaido is dotted with rustic outdoor hot springs surrounded by snow or forest, some even with views of steaming rivers or snowy mountain peaks. Hokkaido is Japan at its wildest, vast, dramatic, and free. If you crave open spaces and untamed beauty, this is your sanctuary. Head to the far south of Japan and you'll find Kagoshima, a city that lives in the shadow of an active volcano. Sakurajima rises just across the bay, constantly releasing smoke into the sky. Locals sweep up volcanic ash like it's part of their daily routine. It's both beautiful and humbling, and it makes Kagoshima one of the most dramatically situated cities in the world. Take a ferry across the bay for closer views of the volcano. Hike the lava trails, visit an onsen with views of the sea and volcano, or enjoy local specialties like black pork and sweet potato shochu. From Kagoshima, head to Yakushima, a remote island covered in ancient moss-draped forests. This island inspired the Studio Ghibli film Princess Mononoke, and it's easy to see why. The yakusugi trees here are thousands of years old, some over 7,000 years. The forest is often covered in mist, with streams tumbling over mossy stones and shafts of sunlight filtering through dense green leaves. It's haunting, alive, almost sacred. Hike the Shiratani Unsuikyo Ravine or the longer trail to Jomonsugi, the oldest tree in Japan. Stay in a quiet guest house, listen to the rain, watch the forest breathe. Japan's railway system is not just a way to get from one place to another, it's really a cultural experience, a moving window into the heart of the country. From sleek bullet trains to nostalgic countryside rides, Japan has truly mastered the art of traveling beautifully. Everyone knows the Shinkansen, the bullet train. It's fast, silent, precise to the second. But there's another side of Japan's rail system, slow trains designed not for speed, but for soul. One of the most beautiful routes is the limited express wide-view Hida, which runs through the Japanese Alps from Nagoya to Takayama. The train has panoramic windows so you can just sit back and watch as rivers, mountains and remote villages glide by. Another is the Sagano romantic train in Kyoto, which follows the Hozugawa River through a forested gorge. In spring, cherry blossoms surround the tracks. In fall, fiery maple leaves set the hills ablaze. The train creaks and winds slowly, giving you time to feel every second. For coastal views, try the resort Shirakami in northern Honshu. It hugs the Sea of Japan and passes through sleepy fishing towns, pine forests and wave-battered cliffs. Musicians sometimes perform on board, locals wave from platforms. It feels like a moving piece of poetry. In Kyushu, take the luxurious 7 Stars cruise train for a once-in-a-lifetime journey. Polished wood interiors, gourmet meals and windows that frame waterfalls and rice fields like art. It's more than a train. It's a dream on rails. These trains remind you that in Japan, the journey itself is part of the destination. To sit, to see, to breathe. That's what these rides offer. Beyond the cities and temples lie places few tourists ever reach, tiny islands, forgotten ports, and sleepy villages where time seems to have stopped. Naoshima is one such place. This small island in the Seto Inland Sea is known for its cutting-edge art installations and quiet fishing harbors. Giant sculptures, underground museums, and architectural wonders are scattered across the landscape. It's like an open-air gallery carved into nature. Artists and architects like Yayoi Kusama and Tadao Ando have transformed the island into something extraordinary. Nearby you'll find the islands of Teshima and Inujima, also devoted to art, nature, and deep silence. Rent an electric bike and ride through rice fields along the coast and into hidden valleys, where modern art hides inside old wooden homes. Shimanami Kaido is a 60-kilometer cycling route that connects Japan's main island of Honshu to the island of Shikoku. It passes through a series of small islands, with bridges offering stunning views over turquoise water. Along the way you'll find citrus orchards, guest houses and cafes run by families who welcome travelers with warm smiles and cold yuzu juice. On the Sea of Japan coast, towns like Ine and Wakasa hold on to ways of life that have existed for generations. In Ine, wooden boathouses line the shore. You can stay overnight, watch the fishermen cast their nets and wake up to the sound of waves lapping beneath your feet. These places don't ask for attention. They exist quietly, waiting for those who seek something deeper than the highlights. And when you find them, you realize the most meaningful moments often come far from the spotlight. Japan is full of beauty. But some places move beyond beauty, into something that feels sacred, transformative, unforgettable. In the Kumano-Kodo, an ancient pilgrimage route through the Kii Mountains, you walk paths once traveled by emperors and monks. Shrines appear from the mist. Stone steps climb through mossy forests. You walk not to arrive but to become. At Ise Grand Shrine, considered the holiest site in Shinto, you won't see much of the buildings. They're hidden, simple, rebuilt every 20 years as a symbol of renewal. But what you will feel is presence, of the forest, the gods, the rhythm of something ancient and unseen. At sunrise on Cape Manzamo in Okinawa, or sunset over the Seto Inland Sea, you might stand in silence with strangers, all watching the same sky. No one speaks. There's nothing to say. Just the hush of nature and the understanding that you're part of something vast and beautiful. Even in cities, these moments exist. A quiet alley in Kyoto with lanterns glowing, a vending machine in a snowy village blinking in the dark, a ramen shop with one seat left, and the bowl of noodles that somehow heals your spirit. Japan is made of thousands of such moments. You won't find them on maps, you won't find them in guidebooks, you'll find them when you let go of the plan and let the country show you something unexpected. And that's when Japan becomes more than a trip, it becomes part of who you are. By now we've traveled across mountains and islands, temples and trains, forests and skyscrapers, but what lingers the most about Japan isn't the places, it's how it makes you feel. It's the precision, the care, the beauty in the small things. It's the deep respect for people, nature, food, space and time. Japan invites you to slow down, to notice, to listen. And when you do, something inside you shifts. You begin to bow more. You speak more softly. You appreciate the warmth of tea, the pattern of footsteps on gravel, the chirp of cicadas at dusk. You realize that discipline and harmony are not limitations, they're expressions of love. And you take this feeling with you, long after the trip is over. In 2025, more people will travel to Japan than ever before, but not everyone will truly see it. If you're watching this, you're already part of something different. You're not just a tourist, you're a traveler, an observer, a seeker. And for you, Japan will reveal wonders beyond the surface.